Hello, and welcome to today's webinar, Promoting Health and Quality of Life in Our Senior Population. I'd like to begin by acknowledging the land in which we reside. McMaster University recognizes and acknowledges that it is located on the traditional territories of the Mississauga and Haudenosaunee Nations and within the lands protected by the Dish with One Spoon Wampum Agreement. My name is Katie, and I am a program manager at McMaster Continuing Education, and I'll be your host today. We're very pleased to have you join us to discuss our exciting new retirement community management program and related opportunities. On this next slide, I have included the agenda for our conversation today. Today, I'm joined by our guest speakers, Trina, MacKay, and Ayers. I'll introduce Trina. Trina is a certified training manager and director and has a Six Sigma Green Belt, which she has utilized to improve processes for feedback, problem solving, project management as well. Trina has been in learning and development for 24 years, starting at a pharmaceutical company, conducting technical and soft skills training for North American call centers. With a passion for developing programs and education, Trina joined the ORCA team and has spent the last 9 years building over 32 mandatory and optional courses and developing what is now known as the Learning Center for Senior Living Learning Management System, or TLC, which currently has over 130,000 users in 7 provinces. In addition, we have Michael joining us to discuss the Retirement Community Management Program. Michael has been involved in senior care and hospitality throughout Canada and the United States for over 40 years. He has been an administrator, vice president of operations, and owner of long-term care and retirement communities, and is now an advisor in the retirement home industry as a consultant. Throughout his career, Michael has provided educational opportunities for thousands of retirement community staff and managers through in-person and web-based educational presentations. He is a passionate advocate for seniors and for managers and staff who have chosen senior care as a career. Thank you both for being here, and I'll now hand things over to you, Trina.
Great, thank you, Katie, and good afternoon, everyone. I'm excited to be here to promote the new Retirement Community Management Program being offered at McMaster University. But first, let's talk about who ORCA is and how we support the retirement sector. ORCA is a nonprofit association and represents 92% of licensed retirement home suites in Ontario. We also have about 240 commercial partners. These are companies who provide products and services to retirement homes. So for example, food delivery, cleaning services, and things like that. The areas that we focus on are providing education and training for members, so the retirement homes and their staff, and that's to meet compliance requirements, but we'll speak to compliance piece shortly. ORCA also advocates on behalf of our sector with government and stakeholders, and this ensures the retirement community's voice is heard. And we also position the sector for growth and success as an invaluable service to the senior population. As you'll see on screen in a second, retirement homes fill a big need for seniors as the population ages. Member support is the focus that drives all of the work ORCA does. The association has seen huge growth. Our membership has almost doubled in the last 10 years to now representing over 630 licensed retirement home members today, as well as a number of senior congregate care buildings. Our membership is made up of independent operators, so those owning only one home, to large and small chains which own and operate upwards of 100 homes. So for example, you may be familiar with Chartwell or Rivera Homes. ORCA develops educational tools, training, and resources that are housed on our online learning platform, the Learning Center for Senior Living, or TLC, as you'll hear throughout this presentation, which is currently used, as Katie mentioned, by over 130,000 retirement home staff across 7 provinces and includes over 32 online tutorials. We also host events and webinars throughout the year. We have our Together We Care with the Ontario Long-Term Care Association. We have our spring and fall webinar series, and ORCACon, which is ORCA's fall conference to network, learn, and have some fun. ORCA also sends out bi-weekly newsletters and regular member communications. We want to ensure our members have a clear and concise information when they need it, and it's key to ensuring the health and safety of residents in our retirement homes. We also offer an operational effectiveness and compliance program for members, and this is to ensure they're meeting regulatory requirements or educational support. During the pandemic, ORCA developed resources like checklists, policies, and COVID training tutorials to help retirement home staff. Over the past couple of years, ORCA worked closely with the government to ensure not only our members, but the senior sector as a whole receive timely and accurate information. With regards to advocacy, ORCA works with the different ministries and stakeholders, and during the pandemic, this has included advocating for pandemic pay for our frontline staff and mandatory testing. Lastly, staffing has been a challenge for many operators, which started even before the pandemic, and there's a big opportunity for careers in this sector. We are partnering with companies like WCG Services, Employment Ontario, Achieve, and educational institutions to get the word out about the great opportunities available in this sector. So we know now for the first time, there are more people aged 65 and older in Canada than those aged 14 and under. The number of seniors 75 and over is expected to climb to 2.7 million in Ontario alone by 2041. And by 2025 will account for over 1/5 of our population. The sector is expanding, and that will continue over the next few decades. This means there's a huge opportunity for people to work in the retirement sector. So let's get into some general information on retirement homes. Retirement homes may also be referred to as a retirement residence or a retirement community. Keep in mind they are not long-term care homes. There's often confusion between the two. However, they are separate and distinct, and I'll explain why. A retirement home is defined as a building that is occupied primarily by those 65 plus and by at least 6 people who are not related to the owner, and where at least 2 care services are available to the resident. I'll talk a little bit more about what a care service is shortly. So retirement homes are considered rental accommodations. So the resident is a tenant and the home is the landlord. Seniors moving into retirement home may live independently or receive some support with daily living. They choose their retirement home and they pay a full portion of their monthly rent. Retirement homes are regulated by the Retirement Home Regulatory Authority, also known as the RHRA, through the Retirement Homes Act, and are overseen by the Ministry for Seniors and Accessibility. Now, for long-term care, in contrast, those 18 years of age and older with healthcare needs may be eligible to live there. LTC, which is long-term care, also has a heavier care model with 24/7 nursing. The care services fees in LTC are government funded, while the accommodation portion is not. And these homes are also under a different ministry. They're overseen by the Ministry for Long-Term Care and regulated under the Long-Term Care Homes Act. Those entering long-term care have to be assessed to see if they're eligible to move into a long-term care home. And this is done through the Home and Community Care Support Services, previously known as LHIN. And the resident and their families indicate their preferred home, and move-in is based on availability. So there are some significant wait times with over 38,000 people on the wait list and an average wait time of over 170 days. So you can see the difference between retirement home and long-term care. Retirement home offers choice. They're able to pick the home, and the wait times are far less than long-term care, if any at all. So today, there's over 775 licensed retirement homes in the province. Those homes make up almost 67,000 suites. And there's also another 17,000 new suites expected to be completed by 2023. And then an additional 89,000 by 2041. Retirement homes range in size from as few as 6 beds to upwards of 250 or more suites. They are private pay, but some retirement homes may be not-for-profit. Also, retirement homes range in level of care offered, which will show on the next screen. And lastly, over 30,000 team members are currently working in retirement homes right now, and many more are needed. I mentioned that the RHRA, who oversees the homes, they license and inspect them. So under the Retirement Homes Act, there are 13 care services that can be offered in any combination within a retirement home. These include nursing and pharmacy services, assistance with dressing or bathing, also dementia care. Based on the services the home is licensed for, there are general categories with regards to the home's care service levels. You'll see on screen there's independent living, independent supported living, assisted living, and memory care. So independent living, generally, residents would receive meals, access to recreational services, housekeeping, and on-site emergency assistance if needed. In independent supported living, residents generally still live independently, but may want some assistance with daily tasks like managing their medication. Assisted living may be for those who are semi-independent, but require more care services like assistance with bathing. And finally, memory care. Families may choose a home offering memory care for their loved ones if they have been diagnosed with dementia. A home may provide a combination of these care levels or be geared to just one, like a home specifically designed for a resident with memory care needs. They also may offer all the service levels, so a resident could move in as an independent person or a couple, and then add care services as they need without having to move outside of the home. These care service levels will also inform the staffing structure of the home, like if the home has a registered nurse, for example. It's also worth highlighting that Ontario's retirement home outcomes from COVID-19 pandemic have been excellent. There has been a lot of media attention on long-term care, and as the close cousins of the industry, we have often been lumped together. You'll see on screen that most residents and staff are fully vaccinated. 94% of seniors in retirement homes have stayed safe and free of COVID-19, and confirmed cases among residents or staff account for only 1% of all cases in Ontario. At the beginning of and throughout the pandemic, homes took quick action to protect the residents and staff, expanding on their infection control policies and procedures that were already in place, while also working to find balance, where that sense of community, social connection, and meaningful interaction was still offered along with peace of mind. So while safety protocols were in place prior to the pandemic, measures were certainly enhanced for the safety of staff and the residents. As noted on screen, there are a ton of choices and variety of opportunities for prospective team members to explore, with many different pathways to success. The best part of it all, you can make a difference and improve the lives of seniors and the families. Different frontline opportunities are working in care service roles, recreation, maintenance, business, bookkeeping, sales, and many other areas. But many don't realize just how many different departments and special retirement and specialties retirement homes offer. There are many full-time roles and part-time roles. The roles are very much hospitality focused and pretty similar to what you might see in a hotel. And there are very good benefits and often flexible hours. Now, in addition to frontline team member roles, there are department managers, which frontline staff could work their way up to with experience, And then there's the general managers. Those oversee the home, and some companies have corporate teams, head offices, including regional, national managers, based on the size of the company, of course. And Michael will discuss this position in more detail in his presentation. There is great experience to gain from working in one role and in lots of areas to grow in your job. There's also great opportunities for professional growth and advancement and personal development, whether it's continuing education course, for example. Other reasons to work in a retirement home: you develop meaningful relationships and connections. You learn new skills, and there is ongoing development opportunities. You have the freedom to be creative, and you can have great work-life balance. Now, let's have a quick look at what it's like to work in the retirement home sector. This is a video we have provided secondary school educators to promote working in the sector, and provides a great overview of some of the opportunities available. So as you can see, there's many opportunities. There's also many locations, as there's retirement homes across the province, as well as across Canada. I do feel that this program represents and provides the education needed, but I'm going to hand it over to Michael to talk more about the program.
Thank you, Trina. First of all, it's my pleasure joining Katie today. There is a camaraderie among staff who at the end of the day can go home knowing they've made a positive difference in the lives of the seniors we serve. Where do retirement community managers come from? Retirement community managers have historically risen through the ranks. Nurses becoming directors of nursing, the maintenance person getting promoted to environmental service manager, etc. In the last few years, due to high demand and complementary skill sets, managers have been recruited from other industries, hospitality, recreation, and marketing specifically. Most recently, retirement communities are noticing an uptick in interest from the acute care sector, as post-COVID burnout is causing an exodus from hospitals and community care. As our industry grows and becomes more complex, skilled managers are a highly sought-after commodity. Recruiters are looking for applicants with knowledge to hit the ground running, and there's a shortage of qualified candidates for the management positions available. The McMaster program in retirement community management provides an avenue to help alleviate that shortage. Students who complete this program acquire a broad theoretical grounding to better prepare themselves for their future careers in seniors care and accommodation. This fall, McMaster is offering Retirement Community 101 and 102. Both of these courses provide knowledge retirement community managers will use on a daily basis. Let's talk a little bit about the subject matter you might study in Retirement Community Management 102. You'll learn about retirement home residents, who they are, their needs and wants, and how retirement communities and other senior care options can meet these needs. Students will learn how a caring and knowledgeable staff can provide a safe and stimulating environment where residents can thrive. Regulations and policy. As Trina mentioned, there are over 20 major laws, regulations, and standards of practice that retirement community managers encounter on a daily basis. You will learn what these are and how regulation drives our policies and everyday practices. Design principles. You'll study innovations in senior accommodation and design. You'll learn that modern retirement communities are being built with all the amenities of a cruise ship on the one hand, and with specially designed memory care sections on the other. You'll learn how structure and design can affect physical and emotional health. Facility operations. This topic provides an overview of the retirement community physical environment, the laws governing physical plant maintenance and cleanliness, and the human resources and skills required to maintain a retirement community building. The study of retirement community health and recreation services provides students coming from other industries with the grounding in the services provided in retirement communities to meet the care and socialization needs of senior residents. Learn how these services are provided through a network of in-house and community resources, all working together, and learn how retirement communities differ from long-term care and acute care. Occupational health and safety. This topic applies province-wide to all businesses, but is presented here with specific referencing to seniors communities. Learn how managers and line staff work together to provide a safe workplace for everyone. Students will also practice using a case study, how to investigate allegations of workplace harassment and bullying. Managing risk. Learn about specific retirement home risk and the theory of risk management. Increase your ability to deal with risk with tools to prioritize and develop strategies to protect stakeholders and the business against adverse events. The subject of human resources introduces students to employment law, as well as discussing strategies to improve recruitment, retention, and staff training. These topics are of particular interest at this time when we're all dealing with a tight labor market. Infection prevention and control is currently important given that COVID-19 is especially challenging for congregate environments. Learn about the public health system and resources available to retirement communities. The final lesson in Retirement Community Management 102 is called A Manager's Day. And students will learn about the challenging and rewarding environment that managers work in daily, including how to set priorities when things get off course. Being responsible for the health and well-being of residents and staff 24/7 can be stressful. And we discuss strategies to maintain a healthy work-life balance. The other two courses, RCM 101 and 103 in the Retirement Community Management program, offer additional theory combined with practical examples and case studies of how this theory can be applied. Budgeting, sales and marketing, nutrition, healthy aging, and the resident experience are useful and practical subjects applicable to retirement community management. There are no texts used in these courses. Students learn together through a selection of assigned readings and videos and demonstrate their knowledge through assignments, interactive discussions, and quizzes. The course instructor is always available for questions and support. RCM 101 to 103 individually and collectively will provide aspiring managers with a good theoretical grounding in order to be successful as retirement community managers. This theory will shorten the learning curve once hired and prove useful for your entire career. I recommend these 3 courses to retirement community staff desiring to move up to a management role, to present retirement community managers wanting to increase their knowledge and promotability, and people presently employed in related industries of healthcare, hospitality, recreation, marketing, environmental services, thinking about transitioning to senior accommodation management, and to retirement community owners wanting to provide educational opportunities for their staff, including for succession planning. The courses are also wonderful electives for any students as the content is appropriate to a broad range of future career choices. Thank you for taking the time today to learn about retirement community management. Give serious thought to this career choice. You won't be disappointed. I now hand back to Katie.
Thanks very much, Michael and Trina, for your wonderful presentations. So up on this slide, I have got the 2 different credentials that we offer at McMaster Continuing Education. So there are 2 program pathways. The first is a certificate of professional learning in retirement community management, which is composed of 3 courses. The 3 that were on the previous slide. So that's RCM 101, Healthy Aging, Health, Wellness, and Nutrition, RCM 102, Residential Site Operations, and RCM 103, Retirement Community Management. So if learners complete those 3 courses successfully, you can be eligible for a certificate in professional learning. The other option is a concentration in the Business Administration diploma. So for that, learners complete a total of 8 courses. It's the same 3 concentration courses that are completed for the Certificate of Professional Learning, the RCM 101, 102, and 103, plus 5 core courses from the Business Administration diploma. And all of this information is on our website, should you wish to reference it again. Students do Business Foundations, Business Communications, Foundations of Business Finance, Introduction to Marketing, and Organizational Behavior. And all that can be viewed on our website again. Thank you so much for joining us today, Trina and Michael. We appreciate you sharing your expertise with us. And thank you everybody for tuning. Again, you can reach us at mcercm@mcmaster.ca, or even if you just tune into our Contact Us page on McMaster Continuing Education, we'll get your questions answered. Thank you so much, everybody, and I hope you have a great day.